Welcome, welcome, welcome. So we celebrate here. This place is for all humankind, because this facility and these missions are designed to answer the two deep questions that we all wonder about. Where did we come from, and are we alone? And if you meet somebody that says, I've never wondered either of those things, they're lying. Of course they do. And so with the mission this afternoon, or this evening, we're going to go to an asteroid. And the mission will return in 2023. So for those of, how many people are in elementary school? Right on. So by the time you get out of high school, or you're a senior in high school, that's when this mission will return. Nice tie, by the way. Very sharp. This woman has a bow tie on, the way civilized people do. Just think about how long that is, how far away this asteroid is, to go all that way out and take all of that time to come back. It really is an extraordinary thing. And what we love about space exploration is it brings out the best in us. It brings out the best in all the people that design the missions, that support the missions, build the hardware, and the taxpayers and voters from around the world who pay for the rocket and design the instruments. Anybody from Canada here? Woo! Way to go! You have an instrument flying on this mission. Fantastic. And the Canadian Space Agency is very clever in that way. They get everybody else to build the rockets, because that's where things go wrong. But today, oh, by the way, today, I hope you all walked around the rocket garden and saw the extraordinary gizmos. I mean, would you get on top of that thing? Really? For, what they pay a government employee? I mean, it's really an extraordinary thing. And then they orbit the Earth and they come back. Well, anyway, this thing is going way, way out into space. And it's going to catch up with an asteroid. It has very little gravity, but it's going to stick to the asteroid and bring back a piece of it. Now, for those of you who haven't seen this video, and these are ideal conditions for watching a movie, take a look at this. Here we go. I think this is all the sound it makes, because it's in space. So September 2016 turns out to be today, and it's launching early in its launch period, and so we're all very excited about this. And it will arrive at the asteroid in almost 2 years from now, 2 years, 11 months. It has extraordinary instruments to study the surface of the asteroid, to find a suitable place to land. And the word land is kind of an extraordinary usage, because it's just going to get near the asteroid and pull up to it. And so what we want to do is blow gas onto the, what we believe, the rocky surface, and stir up enough stuff to end up in a sample return container that we will seal with this crazy fireworks thing and bring back to the Earth and land in, for those of you not from the U.S., land in our state of Utah. And if you've ever been to Utah, there is room for this. And so it's a cool idea, because when we bring back these pieces from these primordial objects that have been in the solar system for 4.6 billion years, we will be looking at material from when the Earth and our neighbors in the solar system were formed. And I guarantee you we will make discoveries that will surprise us all. So it'll land, of course, very gently in Utah. Nothing can possibly go wrong. And we'll go out there, open it up carefully, and find pieces of the ancient solar system and take some deep thoughts. So it's really an extraordinary thing. And so for those of you from around the world and from the U.S., congratulations. This is another amazing thing that humankind has done. Now, the reason that I'm here is I went to engineering school. I'm a mechanical engineer, well, human, but mechanical engineer. I went to school at Cornell University here in the U.S. Cornell is a very good school, and I went there, I'm sure, by a mistake. The admissions office. And then one thing led to another, and I took one class for fun. After I finished my engineering requirements, I took one class in astronomy for fun from a famous guy named Carl Sagan. Yeah. This is just something that happened. It was another mistake that they made there. And the guy was all that. For the young people here who have never heard of this guy, he was an astronomer who have made significant contributions to popularizing science, especially space exploration. He was the guy that talked about space as the cosmic ocean, and we as a species are just dipping our toe into the cosmic ocean, just the start of things for us. And he did this remarkable analysis of how badly things would go if you were to launch a bunch of nuclear weapons at the same time. That would be very bad. And then it turns out that a few years later, that analysis converged with the analysis of what seems to have been an impactor, a meteorite that hit the Earth 65, 66 million years ago and finished off the ancient dinosaurs. And so Carl Sagan and his colleague Jim Pollock did this landmark study very, very early on in 1980, which converged with the dinosaur business in 1983. And that, Carl Sagan also promoted the idea of what he called comparative planetology, where you look at the environment of Mars, the environment of the Earth, and the environment of Venus, and you realize we have a pretty extraordinary home. And so Carl Sagan taught this class. He went on to create the show Cosmos for the first time, and then he started the Planetary Society. Now, I was a graduate, so I got a letter in the mail to ask to join the Planetary Society. I'm sorry, hang on a second. It was paper. It was you see some people in the front. It was a way you could store information outside. It's complicated, but anyway, one thing led to another. Anyway, one thing led to another, and I joined the Planetary Society. It turns out we checked it out. I'm a charter member of the Planetary Society. Anybody else from the Planetary Society? Anybody here? Right on. Look at you all. I love you guys. I love you. And I joined the Planetary Society. Been a member since the beginning. Then in 1997, through the success of the Science Guy show, for those of you who are not from the U.S., for those of you not from the U.S., it's a TV show that people watch about science. And I got on the board. Then today, September 8th, 2010, was when I became the CEO of the Planetary Society. Thank you, and I was under pressure, encouragement from the board of directors, which includes Jim Bell, who takes the pictures on Mars when you see a panoramic picture, James Bell, and Neil deGrasse Tyson, who was a good friend, and was a board member, and they encouraged me to take this job, and today is my 6th year anniversary, and I'm just honored to be here. I gotta say, I don't really know what happened. So for those of you who, for some reason, not members of the Planetary Society, I mean, it's weird, but I want to tell you one of the things we do. Our mission is to advance space science and exploration. That's our deal. So along that line, last May, we were here for the launch of another Atlas V rocket, and our light sail spacecraft got in orbit right on, and got pushed around by the sun, and we're going to fly another one on the second Falcon Heavy. When the second SpaceX Falcon Heavy rocket flies, we will be on it. And then so I like to say we made the spacecraft, it flew, and when I was in class, in Carl Sagan's class in 1977, I see this guy's in the front row. Yes, there were people alive. So I know it's extraordinary. Yeah. It was when disco music was popular the first time. Anyway, Carl Sagan talked about a solar sail mission. The first one that was discussed that NASA was going to fly was going to catch up with Comet Halley. They found some people from the Halley family. Apparently they don't say Halley. There's Bill Haley in the comments, which is important. But Comet Halley was going to catch up with it. That mission got canceled. Lack of funding, this and that. So 39 years later, after Professor Sagan and his colleagues were talking about this, we flew our solar sail. I'm very proud, and for those of you who are members, thank you, thank you, thank you. Then the second thing we do is we advocate. We have people, some of whom are over here, who go to, especially the U.S. Congress, to a much lesser extent, European Space Agency, Japanese Aerospace Exploration Agency, Indian Space Research Organization, much lesser extent, but mostly in the U.S., we go and advocate for space missions, for missions like Osiris Rex, because these missions are where we learn more about ourselves and what I like to call our place in space. Then the thing we do, I like to say, is we educate. And so what we do, we often will get the deal from NASA or ESA to promote a space mission, including the tortured acronym of Osiris Rex, which fabulous acronym, spectral, interferometry, regolith, security, exploration. I got the R and the S interchange. But along that line, this asteroid was discovered in 1999. It used to go by the very romantic and encouraging name 1999 RQ-36, which really stirs the heartstrings. I think really pulls at your heartstrings. But what we did, as very much in the tradition of the planetary societies, we had a naming contest. We got people from all over the world who wanted to go to space. Almost 500,000 of you sent us your names, and we have over 440,000 names on a disc, a special ceramic disc that will go off into deep space. Anybody's name on there? Right on. We're going to space tonight, people. And then we had a contest to name the asteroid in a much more romantic and frankly meaningful way than the 1999 RQ-36. And so we had 8,000 entries, and we had very sophisticated judges who have long tradition in space exploration who chose the name of this mission. And I am honored to tell you that the Planetary Society member who chose the name is here today. And the name has to do with the Egyptian gods, and he will tell you a little bit about it. Mike Puzio, where are you? Come on up. Hey man, great to see you. So Mike, the name of the asteroid is?
Bennu.
And where did you get what does that name mean historically?
Well, when killed by Set, his brother.
Which is undesirable.
Yes. He came back to Earth as a heron known as the Bennu. And so, from there, I thought, that's a good name.
The spacecraft is going to go out. It's going to come back from an ancient part of the solar system.
I just thought along the name of Osiris, not coming there back.
Oh, come on, play along. Well, what is Bennu, the god? He's a god for a couple things, right?
He's not a god, but he's Osiris.
But he's fire and life coming back, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So nice job, man. Are you 13 now? You're 12? I was 12 for a while, but when did you name this? How long ago?
I named it in the end of 3rd grade.
So you were 9 at that time?
I was 8 when I submitted the name, but 9 when you confirmed it.
Right on, man. Mike! Thank you. The name that you gave this asteroid will be part of human history for the rest of time. Nicely done. Blow it up. Yeah. Blow it up. And your family's here, right? Great job, man. Great job. So everybody, just to refresh, if you are for some reason not a member, consider joining the Planetary Society. We advance space science and exploration. We educate, we create, we advocate. And it goes all the way back to Carl Sagan, Bruce Murray, who was the head of the Jet Propulsion Lab during Voyager and Viking. He was a manager of those missions. And Lou Friedman, who was an engineer who wrote the textbook, which I purchased a long time ago about solar sailing. So, oh, this is the video would run again. Can we skip it? So, these are the names that were submitted. There were 8,000 of them, and we picked Mike Puzio's Bennu, the Egyptian god where Osiris Rex comes back. Then this is an artist's rendering. For those of you who, what would you be doing if you weren't here? You'd be watching CSI, right? CSI, Banana River, CSI Titusville. Is that out yet? It's coming. Anyway, just understand, for you crime scene investigators, there is nobody there to take this picture. This doesn't exist yet. But it is an extraordinary thing where this spacecraft will pick up a piece of the asteroid, it will turn its antenna back to the Earth, tell us what it's found, and then it will fly back and land here. And this is extraordinary. It's done with U.S. tax dollars, Canadian tax dollars, European Space Agency tax dollars, people from all around the world contributed to this mission so that we will know more about ourselves. And that, my friends, is worthy. You know, this, for those of you who aren't from the U.S., I don't know if you've heard about this, we have presidential election coming up. I don't know if you heard anything about it. And it's, I think, by any means, by any description, not routine. This year is not a routine one. But nevertheless, humankind continues this bigger effort, this bigger idea that we can explore the cosmos and know our place in it. And we will make discoveries that will affect each and every one of us. It is very reasonable to me that most of the people who are here today will be alive when life is discovered on another world. And my friends, that will change the course of human history. That will change the way everybody feels about being a living thing in the cosmos. And that will not be done for the sake of war, or for the sake of political gain, or to feel that you're better than somebody else. It will be to advance humankind. And as Carl Sagan used to say, it is an extraordinary insight that you and I are made of stardust. We are made of the same material as asteroid Bennu. And so you and I are at least one of the ways that the universe knows itself. And I hope that fills each and every one of us with reverence. So tonight, please enjoy the rocket launch. How many people will be your first launch? Oh man, you're in for a treat. It is cool. It is cool, and let me encourage you all. I see you've all got, many of you have your phones out with cameras. I encourage you all tonight to just watch. It's very tempting to take out your phone or your camera and try to get it, but just try to be in the moment, because this rocket is by their standards very lightweight. By their standards, and it will go up very fast. And tonight, it's just crazy. They have strapped a solid rocket to the side of an Atlas V rocket. So it'll go up kind of sideways for a little while. And of course, when I looked at the video of this of previous launches, I go, does anybody know Have you guys seen that's crooked? That's part of the plan, and it's not magic, it's
Science!
not only that, specifically, it's not just any kind of science, it's
Rocket science!
Yes! Enjoy the launch tonight, you guys. We're going to make discoveries that are going to, dare I say it, change the world!